Sarah was born on December 23, 1867, near Delta, Louisiana. Her mother died in 1872 from cholera, and her remarried father passed away a year later. She became an orphan at the age of 7. Sarah moved to Vicksburg, Mississippi, with her sister Lavinia and Lavinia's husband, Jesse Powell, when she was 10 years old. She began working as a domestic servant in her early years. In 1882, at the age of 14, Sarah married to escape the abuse of her brother-in-law. She had a daughter named Alayla, but her husband died in 1887. In 1888, Sarah and her daughter moved to St. Louis, where she worked as a laundress, barely making more than $1 a day to support themselves. Sarah suffered from a scalp condition, inflammation, hair loss, and severe dandruff. The lack of indoor plumbing, central heating, and electricity at the time worsened her condition. Initially, Sarah learned about hair care from her brothers who were barbers in St. Louis. Working as a commission agent selling products for African American hair care entrepreneur Annie Malone, Sarah gained knowledge and started developing her own line of products. In 1905, Sarah moved to Denver, Colorado, with her daughter and continued to expand her hair care business by selling Malone's products. This led to a controversy between Sarah and Malone, with Malone claiming that Sarah had stolen the formula for a petroleum-based moisturizer mixed with sulfur that had been used for over 100 years. After marrying Charles Walker in 1906, Sarah became known as Madam C.J. Walker. She marketed herself as an independent hairdresser and a retailer of cosmetic creams. In 1908, Walker and her husband moved to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where they established a beauty salon and founded Lelia College to train hair culturalists. Walker also created an educational program called the Walker System for sales agents who obtained licenses as sales representatives. In 1913, Walker's daughter Alayla convinced her to establish an office and beauty salon in the growing neighborhood of Harlem in New York City, which became a cultural hub for African Americans. In 1910, Walker relocated her business to Indianapolis and established the headquarters of the Madam C.J. Walker Manufacturing Company. She initially purchased a house and factory at 640 West Street. Walker's hair care method aimed to promote hair growth and condition the scalp using her products. The system included shampoo, a pomade to aid hair growth, vigorous brushing, and the use of a hot comb. This method transformed dull and fragile hair into soft and abundant hair. During the peak of her career, Walker and her company employed thousands of women as sales agents. She understood the power of advertising and brand awareness. Through strong advertisements primarily in black newspapers and magazines, as well as frequent travels to promote her products, Walker and her products became well-known brands in the United States. Inspired by the National Association of Colored Women, Walker began organizing her sales agents into local and regional clubs in 1917. This led to the establishment of the Madam C.J. Walker Beauty Culturists Union. In the 1920s, Walker's name gained even more recognition. She raised funds to support various businesses and donated to charitable causes. She promised $1,000 for a building fund to establish a YMCA branch in the black community of Indianapolis and donated scholarships to Tuskegee Institute. Additionally, she provided significant sponsorship in the arts. In 1917, Madam C.J. Walker commissioned Bertner Tandy, a founding member of the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity and the first African American architect, to design a house for her in Irvington, New York. Walker built the house, known as Villa Luero, for $250,000, intending it to be a gathering place for local leaders and to inspire other African Americans to pursue their dreams. In May 1918, she moved into the house and held an opening ceremony to honor Emmett J. Scott, a secretary assistant in the African American Division of the U.S. Department of War. After relocating to New York, Walker developed a greater interest in political issues. She delivered lectures on politics, economics, and social issues at conventions organized by prominent African American institutions. During World War I, Walker led the effort to establish a training camp for Black Army officers and participated in the silent protest parade on Fifth Avenue in New York City. This mass demonstration brought together over 8,000 African Americans protesting the East St. Louis race riots, which resulted in the deaths of 39 black individuals. From 1917 until her death, Walker served on the board of directors for the Harlem YWCA and influenced the education of young women in the field of beauty. The profits from her business ventures greatly impacted her political and charitable activities. Walker passed away on May 25, 1919, at the age of 51 due to complications from kidney failure and hypertension. In her will, she left a testament to donate over 60% of her future net profits to charitable organizations, contributing nearly $100,000 to orphanages, institutions, and individuals. At the time of Walker's death, her net worth was estimated to be between $500,000 and $1 million. She was the wealthiest African American woman in the United States. Orphaned at the age of 7 and married at 14 to escape an abusive brother-in-law, Walker never received a formal education and only learned to read and write through 3 months of schooling at a church. From poverty and earning $1.50 per day, she rose to become the first female self-made millionaire in the United States. Walker was an entrepreneur, educator, marketer, and philanthropist. She brought about significant changes in American society and actively supported the economic independence of Black women. Her success laid the foundation for collective achievement rather than individual success. Walker's story has been adapted into TV series and documentaries. In 2020, Netflix released a series titled Self-Made, inspired by the life of Madam C.J. Walker.